Hey guys, and welcome back to the second day of gameplay. My name is Freddy Ogamirano, and I'm joined with a new place, Mr. Reaper Steve, and we are here with EMP's Kids versus Temperate, the upper bracket semi-finals, one of the two games, and whoever wins this will be proceeding on to HLTV as well, and I'm pretty sure automatically they will be getting top 4, and we will be straight into this one now. First map, picked by Temperate. Let's see how it goes. Firstly, how are you doing today?
Yeah, not bad, mate. It's been a bit of a busy weekend, so it's kind of nice to sit back and chill out and watch some CS for a change, because I've been looking at Valorant and StarCraft all weekend, clipping for the highlight videos that we're putting together. So it's nice to actually get back to something I enjoy. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it that way.
I think you can say it that way. And we're going straight into this one here. Cypher, oh, he's on fire. He's definitely one player to watch going into this tournament and into this series. Reigning from Insta Breach, playing against some of the top teams in the in Europe, not even UK, and he's here to not single-handedly, but accompany the other talents in progressing further. Now it is just MMS. Not normally a player that you would look at in clutching up a round like this, but he's already got that first kill. Picks up the bomb. He will be having. He does. Oh no, Joshua's on the A bomb site, so he's going to have to get past him first. But a minute left on the clock. There's definitely plausibility for this one.
Yeah, Cypher is instrumental here in the way that EMP kids are set out to take this first round. MMS got a lot of room to maneuver with, but it's going to get positioned out in the end by Joshua. But yeah, I mean, like, let's be completely honest, Cypher 3k first round in pistol, you know, he takes the main brunt of the damage pushing towards into ramp side, does all the work that EMP's kids, even get my words out here, without if I could speak, that they need essentially for that first round.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I know he's had a very good tournament. He actually sprained his ankle last night, but
Really?
good thing he doesn't have to run or do anything. He's sitting down, so I think he's still going to be looking to put up some big numbers. And now EMP's Kids, they're up against the full eco Temperate. They did not get the bomb down. They did not get those extra $800. And still be looking to just pretty much throw this round away and see if they can get any damage done, but Crife's outside with this SMG, looking to farm up extra $600 per kill, and we're looking to put a fair bit into the bank after this one.
Yeah, I reckon we'll get one for Temperate in this round, but I think that might be the only one, to be completely honest with you. Looking at the way that the minimap shows for the rest of the players, unless some big damage can be laid out by Mr. Huey or the bomb plant, we could actually.
How has Mr. Hoy done this? How is he? That's actually huge to get the bomb down, because he's got that down. That's exactly what they needed. I don't know how he's done that, but very nice to done him. Honestly, I say it's a win by Temperate.
Yeah. I mean, it's money in the bank. You know, yes, okay, you get the extra 600 for the MP9 kills, but realistically speaking, Temperate getting the bomb plant there puts them in good stead for the next round and the following round afterwards. You know, we're gonna be able to see potentially an ult come out into this round from Temperate if they really want to go down that direction.
Yeah, no, it's a weird one. I think, like, especially on T-side nuke, it's really hard to AWP, and sometimes early game you just want to have those 5 rifles. Like, you can see their Regan could have dropped it to Emmy, but I think in the end sometimes you just want to have those rifles, and especially on the T-side, at any caliber, AWP is struggle.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Big utility usage already there from EMP's Kids, trying to block off Squeaky Door, but there's not really much to work with from that angle. Cypher, however, elsewhere is going to pick up a kill onto Mr. Huey. And it feels very scrambled at the minute from Temperate when they lose that first initial man, but they've actually got quite a lot of position into A side itself. They've even got bomb planned as well also, and I'm wondering where Emmy's going here, because looks like he's going to try and play the backside and see if he could perhaps backstab a few players so they try to get themselves back into position to retake the site. Yeah,
it's a really interesting one, especially with Fluffs getting that frag on the Cypher, just stopping and halting momentarily these rotations. But Emmy, he's got to hurry up because he's now the last man standing. He's coming in from main. The bomb is planted for him, but it's being defused. Moshi is sticking it, and I think that's going to be the round over. That one aforementioned kill will be all Temperate get, and even though they had the bomb down in that round prior and they had every single piece of the puzzle, they were not able to build said puzzle, and now they're still going to 4th round with the bomb down and with 2,900 loss bonus, so I think they actually might just, they're going to buy back into it.
Yeah. I can't really blame them. They want to try and scramble as many rounds as they can in this first half, get some sort of foothold to take EMP's Kids down in map 1, but we shall see. Good utility usage there again coming in from the CT side. MMS will take the full brunt of that grenade down to 81 HP, but it's not going to stop him from making his advances on outside to get that swing position.
Yeah, I think this is definitely a CD-sided map. I think that's very clear to say, especially in the meta. And Nuke is one of the most CD-sided maps, probably the second most under Ancient. So seeing early advantages and an early lead from the CT side isn't necessarily that worrying if you're Temperate. But you definitely do want to get something on the board, say at least maybe 5 or 6 rounds going into the second half. And Cypher, he does not clear his corners. Regan will be getting that second frag for the round. This is definitely something that looks like it could be turning into success now for this Temperate side.
Moshi's still on the MP9 as well. I think he wasn't quite expecting the buy-up that, I thought, well, we both kind of anticipated it coming through, but he can still make it work depending on who's going to come his direction. But let's be completely honest, we can see from the mini-map that he's not quite looking in the right position just yet for a reset. Quite quiet and slow down play from Temperate. It's nice to actually see into 4th round. You tend to see a lot of teams go super aggressive when they're 3 rounds down, but having that little bit ease up on momentum might actually swing it in their favour. You know, they've had 2 bomb plants now in 3 rounds. So should, in theory, be the 3rd.
Yeah, what I really liked about that round is that because they tried to go in a very fast last round and they had a very nice set execute and it completely got shut down.
Yeah.
They got the bomb site, but because they used so much utility on the front of it, they had nothing for the retake or the after plant. And then this round, they threw presence over towards outside. They gained that and saw what M's kids were doing in reaction, because in the end, Temperate, they actually are a team.
Yeah.
Fluffs and Regan, the 2 newest players. This team went 10-4 in main, and then they lost in playoffs 1-2. So like they still did pretty well, and they do have a lot of potential going into the future. Whereas M's Kills, as much as they are individually incredible, and you could look at every single player on this roster and talk very highly about them, and especially the fact that you've got EMP behind them as well. That's going to be such a huge factor. But Nuke is such a tactical heavy and protocol heavy map. You look at those you look at the reactions when, say, the outside smoke goes down. One player might have one idea, the other player will have another idea. And I think this is definitely something that could favor Temperate going into the later stages of this game.
It's got good potential for it. I mean, you also saw as well Emma's kids kind of pushing through smokes, not checking corners. Cypher, you pulled up in the last round there. If they've got 3-round advantage against Temperate and they want to try and keep pushing that pushing that position onto them, more mistakes could get made, and Temperate are more than happy to let those mistakes happen and fall into their hands.
Yeah, it depends if that happens again, because I don't think Emp's kids will be able to, or they're like, I'd hope they'd be learning from their mistakes, but going into round number 5, Emp's kids, because they saved 3 members over, they still will have the rifles, and they still will have the AWP out on Jack B. We haven't seen him use it yet this game, and I mean, most definitely yesterday against the B-list Love Islanders, he was absolutely farming them. Oh no, sorry, against Blackhand, he was doing really well on Mirage, so hopefully he can do as well now on Nuke.
Slow down play again from Temperate. It's really methodical clearing of positions. MMS will push into Chris will pick him up, but Cypher's there to get the refrag off the back of it, and Flush is able to do the same.
This is looking so good so far for Temperate. MS is the only player to fall. They will be going on towards this B bomb site. Joshua and Jack B are there to hold, and Emmy is going to try swing into him. Joshua not prepared for that, and Jack B doesn't even hold this squeak angle effectively. He's last alone now. Actually, not even choosing to save. Okay, he should be now. Okay, he will go back now. But the second there, I was like, why is he going for that? But I think because he's done it too late, Emmy could even knife him here. Ooh, Emmy. Okay, I'm not No, Emmy. Oh, he's done a bit of trolling there. Jack definitely just... Wait, Jack is on the bomb. He's actually really going for this. No way he gets another kill here. Wait, surely not. There's actually no one nearby. Even if he's actually going to win the round. No way, Jack B. How are you about to do that? The smoke goes under, and he gets the views. Kids, they win the round off the back of a mistake from Emmy. That is actually just silly. That is silly. How have Temperate lost that? That is ridiculous. You can tell right away their mentality is now in the bin, and M's kids are absolutely screaming their head off. That is dumb.
My favourite thing about this, obviously, us guys now being in this little room, not out with the players, but you can still hear the ticks from chat, and the amount of ticks immediately after that mistake, and it's just like, okay, well, Jack B can dominate off the back of that. The smoke just... The smoke does what the smoke does. Unfortunately, it doesn't even get there anyway.
Even better as well. The fact the smoke goes out the map as well.
And he's just like, I'll stick this. It's fine. There's no worries. They're not exactly going to be anywhere near me too soon. Yeah, what a really, really well played round there from Jack B. You said yesterday he was on fire with the AWP. I haven't had much of a chance, unfortunately, to watch a lot of CS, so I'm interested to see how he performs throughout the rest of this map, especially if he's playing in that way, at least, anyway.
Yeah, because EMP have definitely been a team I've been watching mostly. In my article, I was saying how they are the team to beat. Definitely, they're the favourites going into this one. And Black Hand, like they should be winning, but they're probably not. And well, we've already seen EMP beat Black Hand in quite a convincing 2-0 on Mirage and Inferno. And now Temperate, the team that most people are looking at coming like that third place to rival Black Hand and EMP, but realistically they probably won't. They're now facing up against a Goliath, so I think it's going to be a close one, and especially the fact that Jack just got that defuse.
I can't believe it still.
That's so... It's actually all because of Emmy. The fact that Emmy didn't just kill Jack. Like, what was...
I don't... you don't play with your food in those scenarios, you know, like, it just didn't make much... I mean, I get it. It makes sense, actually, when you think about it logically. He wants to do a bit of
trolling.
Bit of trolling, yeah, you know, bit of... I was going to say emotional damage, but yeah, actually emotional damage works. Anyway, moving on, before we get in too deep into that conversation, Flush will clear entry into site. Moshi's there as well. Also, Mr. Huey backing things up, but Joshua is just going to dominate entirely, or the entirety, I should say, of that push into a site. Force Regan into a position where he has to back away from site and try and recover and retain this AK. The economy doesn't look amazing for, well, 3 of the players at least anyway from Temperate. Flush does have quite a bit of cash backed up. Are we going to see a repeat? We may do. I mean, Jack B's been on fire so far with these little snippet moments.
I mean, surely, okay,
okay, fine.
Him there. And now this was a 4v2 in favor of Temperate, but everyone had like 20 HP.
Yeah.
And Joshua just he just tickled all of them. He just got 1 or 2 bullets off, and he was in the right position at the right time. Very nicely done. But the one bad thing about that is the economy of EMPs, because it's the second round in a row where they've had to clutch up, and then Temperate, they kept 2 players alive, they had the bomb down, and then they have so much loss bonus going into this one. Their money is really good, and Christ is literally on a deagle, and Temperate, they're going to abuse this. They're going to go again on towards the A bomb site fast. Cypher with his MP9 is going to try and hold on alongside his teammates, and well, they're doing so pretty effectively. Jack B is also there to help from heaven, raining over, and this is though still a 3v. Okay, I was going to say the 3v2 was winnable, but as soon as MMS dies there, it becomes in a very unwinnable situation. Emmy, he was potentially the reason why they threw that round in, like that 1v4. So maybe he can make up for it a little bit now.
Yeah, I mean, he's got good potential for it. He knows there's at least 1 player up top. He just needs to get into a good position and try and take out the AWP if he can. Maybe he'll look to retain the AWP, or even just look to save his own AK. I mean, he's got utility there. He has full armor as well also. Got to take those 2 factors into consideration. But I think we've all been in this position before. A minute and 30 is a very long time to try and retain that AK. Especially with EMP's kids being so aggressive in some of their stances so far. I don't think they're going to be too reluctant to let an AK go past. Jack P, however, should really be the first man to contend with Emmy again. And that's it. Good round from EMP's kids once again. Cypher being instrumental again, mate. That Molotov goes down. He gets a lot of tick damage off the back of it. He swings out with the MP9.
I think he got a kill off it.
He did get 1 kill off it, yeah. Jack B, again, helping out from heaven. Everything's just working quite nicely for them on this CT side.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty much identical round from the round prior, because you had Jack coming in from heaven. He was just picking a player off here and there, and then letting everyone else do their own work. And Temperate, we were saying that because they were potentially the team, they were going to be the ones that had more structure. They were going to be the ones that more refined, and then they don't smoke a Molotov. It's like, that's a very silly mistake. That smoke normally does have a gap.
Yeah.
Not that big.
No,
you
not,
could normally
not as much.
just see their feet when they go down, not their whole body. A little bit unfortunate, because we could have put it back into a even 4v4, but Yosh will do that anyway from ramp. It's actually interesting not to see him AWP as well, because he was he actually used to play on this Temperate team.
Yes.
And he was the AWPer of it.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see Jack B AWPing, because I think they're just playing it map by map. They're playing on fire. So on Inferno, Yosh was AWPing, and Jack B was second AWPing on Mirage, and then now Jack B is first AWPing, and it's doing well. And this round is a bit of a cluster one for Temperate. They've got 3 players alive. 2 of them are basically dead, and the only high HP player now will be dead. Joshua, he's doing pretty well this round from ramp. He's been very deck style, just going around everywhere, pushing, getting the 4v4, and then going down towards the B bomb site. And well, EMP's kids, domination feels like an understatement right now on Temperate's map pick as well.
Temperate can't really put game plans.
Oh, man, no.
That's a whiff. That's unfortunate. I would literally just about to say, Temperate can't really plan in advance for these rounds against M's kids because of how fluid they're being with their positioning. I mean, Jack B's played two rounds up at top, and then all of a sudden now he's playing lower, and he's just in the middle of, he's in the thick of it. And then you look at Joshua, who's been playing, close to Squeaky Door for 3-4 rounds, and then he's playing ramp, and you're like, okay, well, how can we make preparations where players are going to potentially be for us to make these pushes into sight, for us to try and make some kind of momentum in? MMS will start momentum off, however. Chris will fall down, but there's a refrag off the back of it as Joshua picks up Emmy. Cypher definitely heard that drop, right?
Yeah, you can see the rotation as well. As soon as that's happened, Joshua's then come back.
Yeah.
He's left Jack B posted up on ramp. Would have worked if he'd hit the shot. Granted, a bit of a difficult one, but he's actually re-going for. Oh, he just stopped running. Okay, Jack. He's just he's playing on vibes right now. They're this team actually are just playing on vibes. He's got 2 players in front of him, and there's a very high chance he might even get both those frags. Regan, he is a bit of a demon with this Deagle. He will hit. He got the tag, which allows Mr. Hoy to go in with that Tech 9, but it is only Regan now left alone. 1 versus 3. We have seen Jack B win 1 versus 4s. And Regan potentially could have lined them up, but no, M's kids, again, only keep 2 players alive. Yeah. Somehow, these rounds have been so close, because I mean, maybe a little bit of trolling, but they shouldn't have been as close as they should be. But, 8-1 in the end. Yes, we were talking about the city side, but these have been 8 just, rounds.
Yes, yeah. I mean, winning the first half in such a, I want to say comfortable fashion. I wouldn't say too comfortable, obviously, dropping down to 2 players consistently, but, there has been a certain level of comfort in M's kids' kind of C-team mentality so far. I'm wondering what they're going to be like going into T-side. I mean, they've only got a few short rounds between them and victory on this map, at least. Yeah,
interesting one, though. We see Emmy actually with this AWP out, and Krives, first time I think he's actually ever had contact in that position. And then, they have a beautiful double stack towards outside. They have no utility. They have no support. It's just those 2 players, and they both get 2 kills. Regan now left alone, lurking in towards Squeak here. You could definitely see that there was an idea of leave Regan here. The other players go down towards Secret, and then Regan can work with the door already blown off. But right now, there's a minute on the clock, and Regan's trying to work with nothing.
Nothing at all. Yeah, Regan's in this good position to try and snap heads as they start to rotate themselves to get outside, delay that play from M's kids in the rotation, but it all falls apart way before it even begins, and Regan will fall in the end, not before taking Marshy out with him.
I know this is a bit of a weird one. Hear me out on this. So, we were talking about how, dominant this is for M's kids, but, I've seen... we were talking about how it goes down, though, a lot to, 2 or 1 players.
Yeah.
It's a dominant, obviously scoreline. They're 8 rounds in the lead within 10 played. They're looking good. But it's been close-ish.
Yeah,
Regan's at least fragging, because I think yesterday when we were watching on Nuke as well, Scambit versus B-List Love Islands, it was Scambit didn't have hands, and it wasn't even remotely close. It was 9-1, and it was yeah, we're done. We may as well actually just finish the game now. But this one, I still am looking at this, and I'm like, Temperate, I know they're good on Nuke, and it just feels like they're genuinely just small things aren't going their way, and they do get the rounds close. They get the bombs down.
Are you just expecting the Honey Badger moment to quote from Temperate? They backed up in a corner, and all of a sudden they just start fighting immediately.
Maybe, and especially going onto the CT side, Emmy's got 1 kill. We saw him have the AWP out for the first time last round, so maybe especially when we get onto the CT side, Jack B won't have as much impact on the T side.
Yeah,
and then Emmy will finally get in his own. But then, you know what we were saying? We have no idea who's going to AWP. Yosh might just pick it up on the T side as well. So, who knows? But yeah, okay, going back into this round number 11, talking about the AWP, he's going to be taking contact here, and Emmy will lose his life. But hold on a second, Jag. You're just running into 2 players. Joshua's there to try and attempt to trade you. But Temperate, Honey Badger moment, right now with a man advantage with 1 minute and 10 on the clock.
Yeah, there's been moments of genius from Jack V so far with the AWP and the way that his game sense has been working out, but just that was a little bit too much of a mistake. But Chris, however, just destroyed Mr. Huey as well. Oh, incredibly well played from him there at control booth, but it's left to a 1v1. MMS versus Cypher. MMS has bomb, and he could go... No, he doesn't have bomb, sorry. I thought he did.
Right, yeah,
it's just right next to Cypher.
Sorry, what a shot onto that. It was those first 2 kills. clean, crisp. The nade was perfect, all that jazz, and then he dinks Regan with like 1 bullet left. He just dinks him and then dies. Like, fair play to him, I'll give him that. But looking at this 1v1, like, you're looking at the names, MMS versus Cypher. As much as I love Marco, I think Kai's got this one. Like, it's gonna be an Ems Kids win. There's like no way unless MMS gets a really cool timing here. But Cypher seems to have. He's like, this is a really good position.
Yeah, it really
where
is.
you can see he's just isolating the angles. He's not leaving himself open to too many. 10 seconds on the clock. MMS has to start running. He'll do that now. He picks up the bomb. 8 seconds. He's going to just have to drop out. He just has to plant. He's going to be doing that. And yeah. Cypher's right there. Double digits has been hit. And you best believe, you know when like you see a round and you see them like the kill just stop?
Yeah.
It's because they're screaming.
Yeah.
That's always the funny thing I see. Like I can hear Crifes right now from here, like in my head. I just hear him screaming, so I know exactly what he's doing.
How have you found it, by the way, actually casting from a room rather than being in the room with the players?
It's been a bit of a weird one. We'll come back. We'll talk about afterwards because it's going to be another APOP Temperate. They've been really trying to get us one, just throwing it at the wall until it sticks. And well, it's not sticking this time. Very good teamwork all around for Ems Kids, and there will be some frags going out. These Tech 9s are actually doing a little bit of damage, but in the end, how much can he do? Emmy is on the Glock, and well, he's still got 1 kill, and I don't think he's going to add any more. But casting from here, it's like. Obviously, it's fine because like we're on LAN. It's really nice to see everyone. But I do definitely miss not casting. I definitely miss casting in like that booth where you could hear everyone.
Yeah.
And you have that like aroma around everything. And especially with games like this, like these guys are going to be screaming.
Yeah.
And I remember I was watching the Ems Kids Black Can game. I was sitting behind Ems Kids, and like both teams, each round, whoever won. Like the screaming, and then you have the other teams as well. You just have everyone else like shouting, and like you know what? That's what LAN's about, and I think that's why the UK does it so well. Is that like we're just vibes.
It's quite funny though because you have the StarCraft casters in the back of the room.
Yeah.
So they're in the room with the CS players, and it's probably the loudest environment they've ever worked within for StarCraft commentary. But no, anyway, moving swiftly forward before we get into that conversation too in detail. Joshua there is going to pick up Regan. I don't know where that was from though. It was outside.
Josh has killed him top heart. Yosh has been playing ramp this whole game. They haven't got a heaven player. This is a really cool setup. So Jack is holding ramp. Yosh has now gone towards A, and then they've sent Crifes and Moshi out towards outside. So Moshi is Moshi normally plays towards A. He kind of got like replaced by Yosh. I don't know, but that was a really cool change up. And well, that really cool change up has just gifted them a 12. They were 11 round lead, and. Well, you know the whole honey badger thing?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I was gonna say, this is exactly what I was talking about earlier on. With the Ems Kids have been playing so far, they've been so fluid with their positions that Temperate can't, like I said, pre-prepare or pre-plan rounds and think, okay, well, we know Jack B's playing B ramp with the AWP, so we're not going to push too heavily into that unless we've got a lot of utility. They can't prep or plan for things.
Just
Christ in a great position. He takes one. He's not going to get any more off it, but he actually doesn't do any additional damage. I was going to say he may have done a bit more, but he's given Cypher enough room to maneuver to get himself downstairs ready for these players to advance in. But it's like a 2v2 split, more or less. They've gone opposite directions of each other.
Yeah, they've got MMS lurking outside, and the rest of the players, I think, are down on this B bomb site. I guess they're just letting MMS work. He could actually get a pick, but look, Mosh is holding for him. Yeah, okay, perfect. Oh, he tried to wrap around Heaven, and Jack P just caught him off. So now I think Ems Kids kind of have an idea of what's happening.
Yeah.
And this angle from Cypher is actually really good. He's definitely learned it from Mr. Adam. It's Adam 9130, and well, he's going to go for the first, but Mr. Hoy does decapitate him there, and wait, it's a 2v2. Oh, hold on a second, this actually got really close. The bomb is on the back of Regan. They're actually going to go up towards a bomb site. They go up ladder, and they got Ven, and Joshua's actually very close, but the problem is, as soon as he goes up here, yeah, he's like, there's a player right next to him in Squeak, so he's going to try catch a timing, but I think the timing isn't there to catch. Okay, the fact that he's alive, I respect that. But it's 2v2 still. Jack B is now the player to watch. He gets that first pick. He knows that Mr. Hoy is in towards Squeak, and Yosh gets him on the ladder. Yosh just... Okay, right, what?
What
How?
is this map?
How? Temperate, that was their round to win, and Joshua just does that.
Yeah, what is this map? I had a conversation with Sneaky outside. He was like, "Hey mate, do you want to do one map for us on a best of 3?" I was like, "Yeah mate, no worries. What team is it? Ems vs Temperate. That's gonna be a good one.
That's gonna be a good
close.
game.
Yeah, you know, like I'll be in there for a little bit. I told my team like I'll be about 40 minutes to an hour maybe, something like that. And then what? We've been in a half hour.
No, because we started the game at like 10 past as well.
10 past
anyway.
or 20 minutes.
Honestly, this game is probably one of the quickest we've seen on LAN at this level, and it's a little bit disappointing because these should be the games that like are fun to watch. But Ems Kids, I mean, like fair play to them, and Jack's just wallbang fluffs. Yeah.
Just Jack doing Jack things.
Yeah, fair enough. Like Jack is literally he literally hadn't touched the game in the past 2 weeks before he came here. It just shows he's thinking of making a comeback. He had a little bit of a wrist injury, but he's thinking of potentially making a comeback. And I feel like after his performance here, it'd be dumb if teams don't start considering him.
Oh yeah, definitely. They'll start looking at him. But this is the thing, as soon as Epic finishes, teams tend to do a lot of roster changes, switches,
player break as well. So
yeah,
it's like post LAN player break. There's going to be a lot happening, and I think Blackhand and Temperate, especially Blackhand, actually to be fair, both these teams, if you're getting slapped this hard by a mix, you're looking at it and you're like, yeah, this team sucks. You're like,
I wouldn't say so. I mean,
not sucks, but like Mano's definitely like, we need to make roster changes.
Yeah, we need to make adjustments somewhere. There's a missing link somewhere that needs to be tweaked a little bit, and they'll figure that out. But this is the good thing about it. They'll go back, they'll watch the VODs again, they'll watch the gameplay and figure out what's not working and what is working, and where can they where can they kind of expand on what is working to make it more of an advantage from going into future tournaments. Regan's going for upstairs. I mean, both players are, in fairness, so it makes sense in the long run. They've got A site clear, right? No,
Mosh is holding, yeah, he's on Mustang. Oh, Mosh does with a shot though. That's opened up the A bomb site. There is a rotation here. Joshua gets that first Molotov dropped on towards backside. It's going to force Regan out. He tries to spray behind the silo actually, and there's only 8 seconds left. Regan's actually tapping the bomb. 6 seconds left. Jack B peeks out with a deagle, and that is the half over. 14-1. Jack B, he's definitely been playing like a madman, running around literally everywhere, getting kills everywhere on the map. His heat map, there's like you can see the his must be just like. Just red everywhere.
Nuke the entirety of Nuke
everywhere.
Just red.
Yeah. He's been like also. Have you seen like when he gets kills, he just runs like that one round where he got the first kill on ramp, and just runs into ramp, and there's people there.
Yeah,
like, he is
super aggressive.
Just playing, to be honest, without discipline.
Yeah,
he is just playing.
And I mean, 16-6. It's working.
It's working. But when will it not? Well, that's the problem.
There's always a big fall, right? You tend to find that quite a lot with players that are super aggressive or are very... well, I'll give it a second. We'll let the pistol round play itself out first of all. Cypher there, there's a lot of missed shots from Regan. That's not going to be nice to watch back afterwards. Henry's going to pick up one. He's looking for a second. He's not able to pick up Jack B, but Jack B is going to get connected on by Fluffs. And it's now 1v1. And the USP wins at close range. Oof.
What a shot.
Good round from Temperate, actually. I say good round. It was a scramble of a round, but realistically speaking, they put one on the board. That's better than they've done for the last 14.
Yeah, I mean, that was actually, like, to be fair, they did sound like that. Like, the first pick went against them. And with Regan being, he got opened up, he got activated on that back bomb side because everyone baited in for him. He just missed every shot.
Yeah.
So it's kind of good that that Fluffs came in on this rotation, was able to do so well. EMP's kids don't get the bomb down, so they're all just going to be buying up on these deagles and no armors, seeing if they can connect something to the cranium. And, well, they've definitely got rounds to play with, that's one thing's for sure.
Temperate in good positions. Oh, good single tap there from Moshi. We'll get the refrag off the back of it. Jack B elsewhere picks up Fluffs. Okay.
That's the ramp.
It's a very good eco round so far from
Ramp's
EMPs.
Open.
Yeah, ramp's completely wide. Jack's not going to call it though. I think they're still going to want to push in towards A site. It's going to be too slow now for ramp. And you can see from the mini map, of course, MMS is outside recovering the M4 to push in towards ramp or to kind of hold it in some way. But he's conscious that there may be players already there waiting for him. But they haven't even wrapped round in as of yet. They're still set up inside of team main.
Yeah, MMS got a call of God here in no man's land repositioning, and they will find him there. He's going to have to drop down, knife out, flash out. They're going to be charging after him down the ramp, and he's only good for that first really nice trade. They have the man advantage. They can be working with that. Regan and Mr. Hoy now here to hold off. Regan with his MP9 will pop out for one, looking for that third. Will find it, and Mr. Hoy coming into cover. But the fact that they only invested deagles there, and they got 3 kills, that's definitely a little bit worrying for Temperate.
Yeah, it's gonna put players on the back foot. Fluffstead not able to really afford anything as such as an M4 drop for him or whatever. But I think we're going to see one player at least anyway. Yeah, there you go. Fluff's still on the MP9.
Yeah, I mean, they just purely don't have the money to work with. Fluffs has no utility as well. Regan only has a flash left now. EMP's they're not looking too healthy right either, but that's a very nice opening pick. We were bashing a little bit this MP9, and the fact that it's already done so well. Joshua losing his life, he's been a key part to their success. And Jack B, though, like we were talking about the aggression, almost good for a second there. The low HP player Fluff somehow survived. And a 2v4 EMP Kids maybe a little bit too aggressive.
Oh, it's bad play there from Moshi. Got to be expecting that player up top waiting for you to show your legs there in that position. MMS will actually get traded out though. Chris will pick up one at least anyway in this round. And he is looking for more.
I mean, even if he gets one more here, because of how bad their economy is, this is actually going to be quite a successful round. If he gets one and gets the bomb down, that's round one for them, in my opinion. Because you've got Regan and Fluffs, though, in towards A. So, yeah, and he doesn't clear top part. Fluffs, I was going to say he had to clear top part there, but he will not. And EMP's Kids, they will finally be quelled properly. Temperate, they've got 3 in a row right now. The money's still, though, a little bit wavy, and I don't know what the play here from EMP Kids here. I think just Tech 9s and maybe Armor, a little bit of utility, potentially just throw some outside smokes, because they haven't feigned any presence towards outside really at all, been just focusing towards inner. So I'm interested to see what they'll do now with this round.
They need one of those matchmaking rounds when the Russian guy goes, Rush B. Just pop smoke, Rush B.
I think it's one of these rounds, honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
Temperate did that a lot, and it just never worked. Like, they were trying
trying
consistently A-pop, and it just never worked.
No. Well, smokes galore from EMP's Kids, at least anyway. 4 on deck, ready to be used into this round. So we should see potentially like a set play coming out from them. The smokes are going to go all over the shop as far as outside is concerned, and we should see a push to get themselves down into secret.
Ooh,
oh, nice kill there from Regan.
That's a very big misplay. I don't know why Joshua's going around that way. Like, that's very, very blatantly just given Regan a man advantage very early on. And EMP's Kids, though, still, I think that was a tactical pause. Definitely come out by EMP just to chat and tell them what to do. And I think this is looking like a set play. And Mesto with a very nice position, just jump peeking here with the Molotov out. Got to be careful because the Deagle will get booted up here. Jack B will be looking to nail the shot, but he does not. Doesn't even shoot. Molotov goes down. Door gets closed. This is very nice reposition. The rotations are coming in from ramp. So MMS is definitely going to have help, and he's going to be farming them up. Good for 2. And he has the help from Emmy as well, if needs be.
Yeah, he's going to need the help, but Emmy's there to support at least anyway. He'll pick up 1 with an M4, but switches to the USP, isn't able to get success off the back of it, and Regan will finish us off. Yeah, good Molotov there. You know, cut the position out.
Yeah.
He did need a little bit of extra support, but realistically speaking, need to swarm that M4 immediately. You know, put 3 bodies in front of it and try and just get some, you know, some massive amount of damage into the M4, but didn't really work out in the end. And EMP's Kids are now still 14-5 as far as scoreline is concerned.
Yeah, pretty good actually so far, and they will be back on the guns though. Jack B is AWPing. Be interested to see what he can do with this one now. He is outside, but Emmy's got one of his own. Will we see these 2 AWPers fight? And Regan, though, he's here to play. Moshi is trying to do... Well, no, yeah, Regan's just trying to replicate exactly what was being done against them. And I think we might be seeing that. Jack's already lost his life as well. Emmy's got to be careful. Wait, it's actually a 3v3 because Cypher's just got to kill through a smoke on towards a bomb site. They know that Emmy is still here. Emmy can't really do anything. He's a little bit useless. And Fluffs, I think he's about to be wrapped upon from every single angle.
Oh, it's good from Joshua. Get himself above the miss there from Emmy.
That's huge. That miss is actually awful.
That miss loses the round for him basically at this point now. Fluffs is a man alone inside of A site. He'll pick up the first down to Chris. He's going to get swarmed in a second, however, and Joshua will finish him off from up high. Yeah, that whiff unfortunately is the part that seals the deal really from EMP's Kids camp, even, if I get my words right around.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mouthful, EMP's Kids. Well, the actual name in the server is EMP's Kids minus Fraser or something like that. There's a really, I think you've got it here somewhere on one of them. Yeah, the full name is EMP's Kids brackets Yaroslav brackets Joster equals kicked brackets. What a name, and well, their name is it's a cool name, and they're doing pretty cool CS. Like, they're looking to be taking this one 16-5 on the map pick of Temperate as well. That's definitely not ideal when you're going to a series. On the other hand, you've got your map pick. Nuke is one of your best maps on the side of XTLR Temperate. It's a very tactical heavy based map. You definitely are relying on your protocols, and well, you've got to win 10 rounds in a row flawlessly to take this one home, and I don't see that happening, I'll be honest. No. Even though they are trying in this round, even if they win this, it's just delaying the inevitable.
Yeah.
Oh, Floss does have the bomb though. Well, yeah, they did get the... Okay, Regan drops Joshua outside, which was the bomb. But, again, does that matter?
It's kill for kills at the minute. I mean, yeah, you know, Regan does get the bomb drop outside onto Joshua, but Chris is there. Okay, 2 HP now, so not a lot really to work with. Fluffs could basically just cough in his direction and kill him, but Jack B is the man that he actually locks onto in the end.
Mr. Hoy is behind Crifes as well. Yeah, okay. Mr. Hoy's going to come from ramp. Yeah, what is... Mosh has just owned them. Okay, Marco's at the bottom of B bomb site. He's not going to be able to stop this bomb site, this bomb plant. Moshi's definitely been someone that's been a little bit slower in this game. Just kind of playing... Like, he's been playing the roles as needed and hasn't been getting super high impact. As in, like, kill-wise. Impact in other areas. And, well, this round, he's just elevated himself and now he's in a 1v1. He definitely can prove himself here. Both players tickled a little bit. Marco definitely on quite low HP, 46 points. Has a flash, has a Molotov, but does not have a kit. So Moshi, with these 2 flashbangs, can just play around, goes to swing, and he nails the headshots. 1 versus 1, a 3k for Moshi. What a round. And Emps Kids, they solidify map 1 in this best of 3, 16-5. This is the map pick of Temperate, so Emps Kids, they'll definitely be looking quite good. And well, what are your thoughts after that one?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned right at the very end about about having high impact. A very good friend of mine has always said this to me, and I always repeat it every broadcast I get, the conversation pulled up with. You can be the highest kill count in the server and still lose the map overall. It's the impact that you have in the long term from the map. And every player on Emps Kids had big impact from the very first round through to the very last round there, more or less. So yeah, it's a very good match to watch. Quite interesting. I think. I'm trying to see what map you guys are coming up next.
Is it that Temperate picked
Dust 2?
Dust 2. Wait, so was this Emps Kids map pick? I'm not too sure. I think
maybe.
Yeah, Temperate picked Dust 2, so this was the mapping of Emps Kids, and then Temperate decided to start on
Nuke. Have we got this the right way around?
I'm not too sure. Either way, we will come back after the break. We'll come back after the break. Looks like Dust 2 will be after. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us for map 1, and we'll catch you guys after the break.
See you in a bit.
overclockers, and welcome. Oh, screw this. Where's EPIC when you need him?
some sunshine. Just need one ray through the dark skies. I gotta look for the bright side. I know we're gonna be alright. I know we're gonna be alright. Just make it through another day. These dark clouds will go away. I'm holding on to my face. I know we're gonna be okay. Yeah, we're gonna be okay.
Hey guys, and welcome back to EPIC36. My name is Freddie Orgami-Rana, and I'm joined by a new member, Mr. Icon. And we hopefully will be getting a better second map than we've already seen. Temperate got demolished on their map pick of Nuke versus EMP's Kids. This is the upper bracket semi-finals. Whoever wins this will be proceeding to the upper bracket finals. Actually, HLTV as well, so a lot to play for right now. And EMP's Kids, they're most definitely looking like they're going to be the first team to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. They've had a dominant run so far through the upper bracket. They stomped in their groups as well, only dropping one map, of course. And not being funny, I didn't catch the start of that last game. So do you want to fill me in on what went down?
It was 3-1. Jack B was in a 1v4. Emmy trolled. He ninja defused, and then they pretty much won the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much like it was. As soon as Jack B won that 1v4 Ninja Defuse, it just felt like the whole game was tumbling, and it was pretty much it. And it proceeded in that same fashion. Just the shots were hitting for EMP's kids, and I was talking to Kai as well. I was talking to Cypher just now, and he was like, "Bro, did you like?" I was reading them every single step of the way. Like I was calling this, they were going there. I was calling that, they were going there.
Yeah,
it was absolutely perfect. And he was really just like, we read them like a book, and I think does too on their map pick. They'll be looking to do the same thing, because during this LAN they've actually changed roles. Like Joshua's turned into a second AWP, Jack B's now the main AWP, and they're picking maps like Dust 2, which is giving Jack B just completely free reign to do whatever he wants. And Cypher was just like, I tell Jack to do it, he goes, does it, gets a few kills, we win the round.
Yeah, I tell you what, the game that we saw yesterday of EMP's Kids versus Blackhand, Jack really showed up in a big way on that AWP on Mirage. Yeah. Really, really standout performance from Jack, and it's good to see him back in the scene, because he tends to be a little bit 1 foot in, 1 foot out, but it looks like this time round he's really come to play. He always brings the fire at Epic Lands though, doesn't he?
Oh, he is a Kettering gamer. Like that's the one thing. Like he might not do it sometimes online, but as soon as he gets on LAN, he's like the best player in the world. And I think definitely as well, going into this one, it'll be interesting to see Jack B, like, where he stands going after this LAN. So he definitely wants to return. He does have a wrist injury as well, so I think there's, like, some things holding him back. But I know he definitely does want to, like, see what he can do. And especially if EMP's kids are playing in the way they do, and if they end up taking this LAN home, I feel like it'd be dumb for no team to look at him and go, yeah, we should probably pick you up. Like, EMP's kids, Temperate, Blackhand, if they're getting absolutely demolished by someone on 2 hours past 2 weeks, there's probably something you're going to be looking at and reorganizing yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. What better way to showcase your ability and individual level? You know, it's no secret in the UK scene that Jack B is an individually skilled player, but I think there's always been a little bit of an issue with his commitment called into question. But yeah, I think that Jack, if you need a main AWPer, he's definitely one of the top ones to look at in the UK right now. Especially, he's on a lineup with Cypher, Crifes, you know, previous winner of the last Epic LAN as well. Moshi, of course, is a very well-known player. All of the players on this EMP's Kids side really have a high level of individual skill and experience, so I am not surprised that we see them in this position. It's a bit of a strange event this time round, Temperate and Blackhand being the only real 2 top teams that are actually attending this one, so it always was open for grabs for a mixed team like EMP's Kids. And when you've got a man like Cypher on the field, you know, he is an incredible player, and that experience and ITB to then carry it into a UK LAN like this, where there isn't really that caliber of player in this tournament at least, he's really shined through in a massive way. Yesterday on Inferno against Blackhand, we saw an insane site defense from him where he was the lone man on the A-bomb site. He's got 4 players coming his way from short. He managed to maneuver around the box and the pillar and just isolate 1v1 gunfights and win the round basically by himself. And that's the individual level that you need from a man like that, especially if EMP's Kids want to take this event.
Yeah, I think one thing to talk about as well is that just like EMP's Kids in that game, it just felt like they were hitting their shots Temperate well, and that's one thing that you can't really do. In the end, you can have the best setups, but if you don't purely hit your shots, you won't win the round. Like we were seeing on the pistol round, especially on the second pistol round, Wigan got set up perfectly on behind Silo on the CT side, on the A-bomb side, and then just missed all his shots. It's like you can get perfectly set up and you can get everything done for you, but if you can't actually put pen to paper and if you can't just connect those bullets, then it's going to be a different matter. And I feel like EMP's Kids, they're definitely going to have the advantage momentum-wise going into this one, and Temperate, I wouldn't be surprised if they are quite just down in the dumps now.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the thing about Counter-Strike. You can play your strategy absolutely perfectly, but every situation always comes down to a shot that you need to hit. And if you just aren't awake on the day, if your reaction speeds aren't up to par, you haven't warmed up well enough, it can be the difference maker, sadly enough. Even if you've polished and practiced all of your protocols and everything looks fine in practice, it's a whole different ball game when you get to LAN and you've been called upon on the day. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be getting into the pistol round. Of course, this is now the map pick of the EMP's Kids, I believe. So they're going to be starting on the T side. We've got 2 bits of utility for them as well on Crifes and Cypher.
Yeah, as well, P250 on Crifes as well, seeing what he can do there. Bombarding out long, not electing to use their utility yet. There's going to be an absolute bloodbath. Pretty much everyone colliding right now, and it looks like it will be in favor of EMP's Kids. Crifes is the only player that falls, and Cypher will just be picking up his P250, so they're going to throw down these smokes for the cross. They're going to get to that bomb site for free, and there's not really anyone to stop them, to be honest.
No, absolutely not. Fluffs and Emmy, they're not in position to deal with this.
Gosh,
The first rotation here behind the smoke is Fluffs. He's trying his hand at getting a couple of cheeky shots through, and the jump is well over the top, but nothing connecting for him. And Emps kids in this situation, they know that they have the advantage. They don't need to overextend themselves. Jack B is taking a little bit of an awkward fight here, manages to eventually win it out after some really sketchy shots, and Emmy just gets overwhelmed. Too many bodies around the A bomb site, and a pistol round win for the Emps kids on their map pick.
I mean, definitely not too shabby whatsoever. That was a very close round, weirdly enough. But Moshi very nicely done, getting a 3K. Last game, he wasn't necessarily putting up the highest numbers because he wasn't in the positions and the roles to do so. So it's good to see him now stepping up where he was like at the end there on the last game. He was unreal, but now Emps kids are going fast on towards the speed bomb site. There's no one even on that bomb site. There are people kind of trying to come through, but again, Temperate, they are just on these USPs, so I don't see them doing too much.
No, absolutely
Apart
not.
from that.
MMS able to get one onto Moshi in the back of the head, but Cypher's here with the MAC-10 chasing him down, is able to get the $600 he was looking for. A couple of more kills for Cypher would be nice, just to buff the bank balance here early on. He's able to get the jumping kill onto Fluffs, and Hoy, he's got the AK in hand, he's managed to recover that one, and he'll be looking to get away and save that, bring that forward into the first gun round for Temperate in this game.
Yeah, it was actually quite a huge kill to get the AK as well, because especially if they lose one more kill, if Mr. Hoy is able to save this, and if he is also able to take down Cryos, this definitely will be quite good, but I feel like he's being wrapped around, and yeah, okay, the MAC-10 as well gets the frag, so it's just good, a little bit of extra dollar going into the bank account. Emps kids, they keep 3 AKs alive and Temperate. This is where the guns will come out now.
Yep, absolutely. Now, this may be a bit of a standout round for how we expect this half to go going forwards. We got the guns out. Of course, no AWPs in play, however. So influential on a map like Dust 2. But it'll be interesting to see how Temperate poise themselves here for the first gun round. We see on the radar they're going for that long take early on, and Emps kids maybe perhaps didn't have the spawns for it, didn't want to take the early gunfights, and they're going for this mid and short control here in the early stages of our first gun round.
I love how they're playing Dust 2. It's kind of like the old classic of just go somewhere as a group, put down utility, and just go kill them. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're genuinely just playing like it's old Dust 2, and I feel like it could work. However, this nade from Mr. Hoy, oh, it's going to do a fair bit of, oh, it does a lot more than a fair bit of damage. Really chunks down some of those players. There's 2 players on this A bomb site, especially grouped up with Fluffs on long, and now they're going to re-divert over towards middle. Regan on an elevated position will catch off 1, catch off 2. They're tagged down from the nade, and it's just lining him up so free for him. MMS on towards B bomb site. He has to survive here. He can't die, but he will. Now a 3v3, and all the control is in favor of Emps kids. Jack B as well, lurking through middle. He can cut off these rotations unless they are able to deal with him.
Oh my, it looked like the round was so far heavily tilted in Temperate's favour until that entry onto the B bomb site. Now it's a retake situation. Jack's position is perfect, but he gets cleared by Fluffs as they check middle, and now it's up to Cripes and Cypher to hold off on this retake attempt. We've got utility coming in. Cypher's position is overlooked, and Emmy, Cypher with an insane 3K, shuts it all down as they try and rotate up through middle, and Emps kids, they put their third round on the board.
That was dirty from Cypher. That was, he gets those, like, he goes on clean, he gets those first 2 kills. Cripes actually overextends and then loses his life, puts Cypher in a very uncomfortable position, and then he hits that first bullet. Literally his last bullet he had in the magazine. Super nice, and you can definitely tell that that was probably not as close as Emp kids would wanted it, and especially that nade from Mr. Hoy just enabled Regan to do so much damage, but I think a tactical pause coming in for Emps kids. Or to be actually, I don't know, but definitely you've got there, as soon as those pauses come in, having a player like Emp behind you, chatting. I know every time there's a pause, he's talking, just being like, sometimes just like, calm down. In a round like that, it was very flustered. Calm down and just get back into it. And Jack B, he's on the AWP. Something I was about to say was that, unlike Nuke, we definitely see people AWPing on this T side. And, well, MMS, he does well to get that first frag, but in the end, there's no one else there to support him. Emmy's going to try to be a bit cheeky, but Christ, he can be cheeky as well and get a knife kill. Okay, no, he's just going to get a kill.
He's just going to shoot him in the face anyway, that's all good. But yeah, talking about the previous round, because I really don't expect to see much going on from the scout. Whoa, as I say that, Hoy, a good headshot, but Moshi recovers the situation. Let's take a step back for a second and talk about that previous gun round, because Temperate were in an advantage position. Regan gets a 2-for-1 trade in middle. He does damage onto the third man. Most of Emps kids were on low HP as a result of that nade on Catwalk as well. And then MMS goes
It
down
was
in the
that
B
1-1
bomb
yeah,
site.
It was that 1-1v1.
Yeah, exactly, and he just opened up the round completely. The individual skill.
That's going to peek long. Okay.
Molotov keeps him at bay for the time being, and once again Temperate get the long control thereafter in the early stages.
Yeah, I do like a map like Dust too, because it is viable to see AWPers on both sides. I think that's a really I enjoy seeing that. Where on like places like Nuke, you don't tend to see that, because it is definitely more difficult for T-side AWPing. But this is not going to be the case here. Jack B is going to be trying to open this one up, but look where Emmy, they barely see each other, literally a pixel, and that will be the AWP duel early going in favour of Emmy. However, especially on these EMP's kids' side, if that nade had landed, actually, that would have been huge.
Yeah.
But you have a player like Joshua, who is their AWPer normally, so having him pick it up is not the end of the world. Christ jumping in towards CT. He's not going to expect the second player in middle either. Regan gets that kill onto Moshi, and now it's absolute pandemonium. EMP's kids are scattered all around the map, and MMS, he needs to be careful. Again, he can't lose his life like he did prior.
No, there's a bit of a lack of communication perhaps, but Regan's managed to deal with Crifes in middle, so they can turn their attention back towards the B bomb site. MMS has got himself in a great position, and Regan's rotations here in time as well. So Temperate, they put their first CT round on the board, and one they needed were going down 4-0 early on.
What just happened?
Yeah, a very messy round all over the place.
Also, the fact was also, so we're looking at EMP's kids as one of the favourites. If they get to if they win this series against Temperate, they're getting into the upper bracket finals by beating Blackhand and Temperate, the two best teams in this tournament besides them. So it's definitely stamping to everyone else like, yeah, we're here to win.
Yeah, without a doubt. And a round like this, it's just damage that EMP's kids are looking for. If they're able to get a couple of quick headshots on the Deagle, then we can start talking about a round win. But for the time being, ooh, Hoy, he's got bodies headed in his direction. The flashbang not being played off of, but in fact the smoke comes out. There's plenty of time for these boys to get over to the bomb site, but the lineup for Regan, he sprays down 4 players in a heartbeat, and just one man standing in Cypher. If there was ever anyone to do it, it would be him, but he hits the ground, and a well-handled round there by Temperate. They only lose 2 players. Regan with a nice little 4K to get his confidence up as well.
I mean, granted, it was only against Pistol. I think some of them were even unarmored, but very nice from Regan. He's definitely he was the only player on Nuke that I felt like was shooting back. And well, if you look here as well, he's actually the only player that's also shooting back on the Temperate side as well. And look at his aggression up middle. EMP's kids, they might not understand this, and they don't. Moshi loses his life early on, and it allows them for Regan just to fall back. EMP's kids on a reaction, trying to aggress up long, and Joshua with the Galil will do it at long range. And again, such a weird round. Players are literally scattered everywhere, and like EMP kids, they're going to try and force themselves on towards the safe bomb site with the utility they've put down. Yeah,
absolutely. So long control well in the hands of EMP's kids. We've got some reactions going on elsewhere on the map. We can see the CTs have taken deep short control. The missed shot on the cross at least is information gained, and Hoy's smoke deployed on the site is great for him to get the kill onto the entry in Jack B. MMS chiming in as well, as the crosses aren't getting across between these smokes in time, and it is just Joshua in a 1 versus 4. Hoy cleans him up no problem whatsoever, and a few more confident rounds in a row here from Temperate now.
Yeah, pretty good. I think especially there, you saw that Jack B lost his life on that first frag because he turned for the flashbang. Mr. Hoy was blinded as soon as he got the kill, and Jack B was just a second too early on that one. He was a little bit too aggressive, and that was something that me and Mr. Reaper Steve were chatting about, is that like, okay, Jack B's being super aggressive on Nuke. It's working now, but how long can this actually work for? And right now, this is where it might get a little bit tentative, where Jack's being a little bit too over aggressive, and it's being tampered with.
Yeah, definitely. Jack B has always been a player who's been very, very good at using his aggression to his advantage. However, there are times where he does let it get away from him a little bit too much. You need to dial it back slightly. In this round, we won't be seeing too much of an investment here from the EMP's kids. Not a single piece of armor bought up, just a couple of upgraded pistols. So Temperate, if we can expect them to take this one, we will be tied up 4-4. Emmy on the AWP is going to open things up with a kill onto Crifes. But this is a bit of a risk, in fact. Regan's all on an island here. He sprays down 2. Significant damage to the 3rd man, but he's only getting hit through bullets through the door. Yeah, no problem whatsoever. This is under control for now.
Yeah, very nice. Regan is having such a good game. He's got confidence, and you can see, and it's good to see as well. It's nice that at least on Temperate now, they're just being a little bit more competitive. They've almost got as many rounds now they did on the whole of Nuke very early on. This again is a city-sided map, so it's one just take with a pinch of salt that if Temperate are struggling this much now, what's it going to look like we're on their T side? And Em's kids feel like they need to wake up. They lost that first round when they were 4-1, and it just all kind of tumbled down. Like they were looking so good, and then just all of a sudden not. Now long aggression is going to come in. Em's kids are going to try and fight for this. Joshua leading the charge. Flashes are coming out. Everyone's full blind, but the problem is Temperate are not.
Yeah, Joshua, I don't think he needed to stop to take that engagement there early on. He could have waited for a late flash. Cypher able to trade in middle though, however. So, long control, well in the hands of the CTs, but they need to move now. Aggression from MMS, but look, they're lining up the B split already, Emps kids. They've got control of middle. Long rotations have completely disappeared for the side of Temperate. They've given that side of the map up entirely. The reactions are quite good right now, I think, for the CT side. They need to make sure that they can get someone out to clear middle here. MMS killing Jack B as well as the B split comes in potentially, but no split this time as the players have been picked apart one by one. Moshi and Crifes now, they have control of this bomb site. The rotations are far away, but still a man disadvantage and plenty of utility to work with for the retake.
Yeah, as well. Moshi just killed himself.
He just killed himself.
Moshi's just killed himself.
Oh
my god. What? Moshi, no. Oh no! Grimes in a 1v3 with 40 seconds left. I'm not gonna. I saw that Molotov go down. I was like, no way. I was like, that actually could split to him, and it did. Grimes taps that bomb. He's in for a 1v3. Fluffs is probably gonna be that first person that's close to him. All three of them coming from this door position. Flash comes in. Grimes is fully blind. He's able to hide momentarily. He knows two are out. He's trying to swing and step. Good for the first. Transfers to the second, but he will not connect. And Moshi, dearie me, my good sir.
Yeah, just an unfortunate Molotov. Landed a little bit too close to the ledge there, didn't it? Got caught on that little lip rather than going into the window. And Moshi, trying to get the bomb down, gets burnt to a crisp. The poor guy 1Gs himself.
On stream as well.
On stream, he 1Gs himself.
Moshi, oh dearie, that's actually so funny. That's too funny. Oh dear, that is not one for the mental. That is not feeling good. But because they do get their bomb down, they're going to buy back into this one. But the buy is going to reward them nothing.
Nice pick there early on towards long from Emmy. So far, Temperate have had a lot of success with this early long take. Emps kids, this is the second time that they've tried to combat it. Last round we saw Joshua going down. This time it's Cypher, one of the heaviest hitters of the Emps kids side, already on the ground. But they're not deterred. They commit to this play up the A long side. Hoy gets caught pants down trying to dump utility, and it will be a bomb plant with even Stevens in terms of manpower right now.
Yeah, a lot of utility being dumped early on by Temperate is actually rewarding them too much. They are going to boost straight up here though. Oh, that's really good from Joshua to hold for that. And now that even Stevens has fallen into an advantage for Emps kids, they're going to try just push through this Temperate brute force for this retake. But the problem is Emps kids just have so many players alive. They're going to work with that, but Regan somehow able to get two onto us long. It's all down to Joshua in a 1v3. He gets his first, not able to get the second, and Temperate, in the most unlikely circumstance, do actually win up this round. And Emps kids, they've lost 6 in a row now.
Regan with a monster performance in the first 10 rounds of this game. He's up to 16 frags already. We've seen multi-kills from him time and time again, and realistically that was
Regan,
necessary
bro.
in that situation. He's got complete control of what's going on. He managed to find the gap in the setup on that post plant, and he just picked it to pieces. Regan gets 2. Emmy's able to pick the trading player. That is mental ADR. Look at the utility from Hoy as well.
200. That's fair enough. Actually,
Very
that's really
respectable.
impressive. But I think that's the third pause we've seen already this game, and I would assume it's from Em's kids and just Em just being like, "Look, guys, just wake up."
No, that is not a round that you really want to lose in that situation. It seemed like there was just a bit of a gap, an oversight perhaps by the Emps kids post-plant setup that allowed Regan to peek into long, with those two players being none the wiser. The guns do come back out at this stage. Obviously the loss bonus stacked up for Emps kids at this point. They've gone for the early long control on the side of Temperate, but fended off by some utility. They fall on away, and perhaps we'll see them shift up their setup. Emps kids, they look to be taking a bit of a late long presence perhaps at this stage.
Yes, not something we've actually seen them do just yet, and so playing like what they normally do here with sending someone like Cypher out, and we've actually didn't play underpass quite a lot here with that smoke, but this late long setup seems like it's going to be a short setup, and Mr. Hoy flashed in perfectly, lines them up, good for 2. Tries to find the third, but runs out of bullets, and out of nowhere, we're now into a 3v3, and Emmy's actually the only player alive on this A bomb site. So if EMP Kids actually choose to wrap onto here, you've only got Emmy with full utility. Does drop that Molotov, but oh wait, he needs to be careful. He needs to be careful that he does not get caught off guard.
Yeah, the scope's been heard here. 2 players. The pop flash comes
Wait,
out.
blinds
the first man, but Jack B's able to get the kill. Now a completely open A bomb site. MMS and Regan have got their work cut out for them. They have plenty of utility, loads of money as well. Definitely the argument to be made to go for this one. But now losing MMS, Regan in a 1v3. He's had a monster performance so far. He's able to win out that first duel on short, so he's going to commit into this one. Jack B on the AWP as well, holding from long. Surely there's no way that Regan can get himself into this round.
Yeah, okay.
Rips his head clean off as he tries to get close. That was a crispy shot from Crifes, and that's what we expect from him, realistically.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely something winnable. I was genuinely looking at that. I was like, okay, this could be something that Regan picks up, but no, not to be the case at EMP Kids. A little bit rough. They actually had a 3 versus 5, and they're still able to win that out. And oh, Jack B, he's had a slow one, but now he gives a slight advantage to EMP Kids early on.
Long control once again, the port of call for the Temperate side. It seems to be working, so don't fix something that's not broken. They're going to leave a man in the form of Fluffs in the pit and divert their attention towards Catwalk and middle. Regan with a triple spray down on the mid doors. He's time and time again showing up when he's been called upon. Jack B is able to trade, and Cypher has dealt with the man in the B bomb site in the form of MMS as well. Cypher has opened up this round completely by himself for the EMP's Kids, and now it's a 2 versus 2. The B bomb site well in the hands of the T side, but the bomb slowly making its way over there in the form of Jack B. Fluffs has got a good position for himself right now.
Yeah, it's actually really good from Fluffs. He is very close behind. Emmy's going to be wary of this aggressive position from Cypher as well. And this is still winnable for both sides, but Jack B, especially the fact that he's holding down this long-range angle with the orb, is definitely going to give favour to EMP's Kids. And yeah, Cypher doesn't get cleared. He actually could even knife. Oh, Cypher, that is dirty. And Emmy, he tried to troll Jack in the round, in the game prior, and Cypher's going to get his revenge. That was a 2v5. They had no right ever in winning that, and Jack B, alongside Cypher, mostly Cypher for that matter, just absolutely destroys Temperate.
Just goes to show that this man, Cypher, he plays for a top UK team. He's got the individual ability to open up a round all by himself. And I really feel like we've seen a little bit of weakness from MMS over at B. Once again, he goes aggressive. He loses out the duel. Mac 10 versus MP9, and Crife's able to win it. Regan sat in a Molotov, but they don't expect him to be here already. Good for one, and that keeps the odds even for the time being.
Yeah, very nicely done, and they might actually flash straight through. Mr. Hoy sitting in the smoke, the bomb will get planted. They do have a fair bit of utility, and especially with Emmy dealing with that mid lug, it only allows them now to focus on towards this B bomb site. Moshi and Joshua, they've got a lot of work to do. They have a bit of counter utility as well, but I think they're just going to have to keep their guns out. Molotov actually lands on Joshua, not ideal. He's still able to get that first frag. Moshi good for the second as well, and Fluffs all left alone. He's not going to be able to get anything done. And EMP's Kids, they take the advantage in this game.
That's more like it from Moshi this time round. Hey, don't burn yourself in a Molotov. Yeah, gets the double kill up from under the window. Joshua's done a great job to get that frag while blind as well. Regan up to 21 frags.
How are they losing?
In 13 rounds played, round number 14 kicking off. And yeah, the one-man show for Temperate isn't really enough for the time being. We need some other members to show up. MMS, Fluffs, 2 people who are struggling in the frag department right now, and the B bomb site has been a very weak point. We've seen 3 successful post plants there so far.
Attempted Zeus there from Mr. Hoy. I respect it. I respect the hustle, but this is... Crifes? What is happening? What? I mean... Like, sure? Okay. EMP's Kids, they're just their vibes right now. I think this is the problem we saw on the first one as well, is that Regan had his moments and he had his shining where he was doing well. Then again, no one else was doing anything. And it's happening here. The fact that Regan, I think, has... I'm not great at mental maths, but I'm pretty sure Regan has almost as many kills as all of his other team combined.
Yeah, I think he's... Yeah, I mean, he's 8 away from that being the case.
8, oh, okay.
29 in total between the other 4, and he's on 21 himself, though. It's still very respectable.
There's a reason why I study history.
But here we go, the final round of our first half here on our second map. Of course, EMP's Kids already 1-0 up in the series here. If they can go into the second half with a 3-round lead, then they are in a great position to take this series 2-0. Contact made by Emmy, and short control now in the hands of the EMP's Kids. MMS has taken a massive chunk of damage early on. Did he get spammed through the door?
He got tagged by Jack B on the cross, so that's going to just worry him. Cause it's like, so if he had full HP, he probably would actually aggress on towards B tunnels, but because he doesn't, he can't. Regan gets flashed off the angle. He's going to be taking... His aggress position allows him to understand that no one's coming from middle, but the problem is, if that's happening, you've got to have your A bomb site players doing well. Mr. Hoy only good for that first, and it feels like it's just going to be falling. EMP's Kids, they're looking to be collecting a 9th going into the second half. What a dominant first half from them. It looked a little bit wary when Temperate just won 6 in a row, and then that 2v5 happened, and boom.
Yeah, the mental went into the bin. It did get a bit hairy for a while with Moshi kind of cooking himself in a barbecue.
So
but
funny.
The performance,
so funny.
yeah, the performance overall from the EMP's Kids is fairly consistent. Jack B's going 8-8. Cypher, of course, the shining star of this roster, is putting himself slightly above the rest of the players, but the kills are fairly evenly spread. The same cannot be said for the side of Temperate right now.
Yeah, Jack B was having I think Jack was signing like 2 and 7 at one stage, so it's really good to see him actually step back up and start to produce some numbers going into the later stages of that first half. And now they're on the favoured of the CT side. They're splitting up. They have actually pushed Jack into lower early on, but Temperate, they're just going to be fast up short here. They do have Moshi and Kraus on this A bomb site, and Jack might pick up a Scraggler as well, but no, he's going to be go fast behind. But Moshi is crispy with it. He has been goosed, but again, Kraus is their support. The flash comes in to help support him, isn't able to capitalize upon that one, and Temperate at close range now with these Glocks are looking to put pen to paper, leaving Jack B in this 1v2, and how have Temperate been allowed to snatch that one away? 2v4, and they solidify the first pistol round.
Yeah, Fluss has done a great job there getting the trade. So many bodies there from the EMP's Kids CT side towards that long side of the map, but the Glocks reign supreme in the end. Unfortunate for Moshi there, trying to peek off the back of the flash and goes down without a second kill, but they force up into it regardless. They get the scout in play on in the hands of Cypher, and also it looks like Moshi's going to be going aggressive early on. Jack B with the aggression towards the lower tunnels is unsuccessful, so EMP's Kids, they start on the back foot here in our second round of our second half.
That's Regan. The fact that's Regan as well, I think, is so much more bigger than it's just a normal kill, and that back foot has been turned into an advantage.
Yes, amazing. It's just flipped on its head just like that, and now the situation is looking dire for Temperate. They've got very little map control whatsoever, although EMP's Kids, the way they're spread right now, they've got no information towards middle at the bare minimum, so there is still plenty of time to work with on the clock, but I think Temperate, they need to be aware that they still have time to work with here. Don't try and force yourself into a site too early. At least try and fake some space and bait some rotations.
Yeah, it's a weird one where it's like no one has map control.
Yeah.
And the good thing, though, that EMP Kids playing 2 on each bomb site is actually quite helpful, because you can play a nice bait and switch. With Moshi's picked up that Galil, so you can play close range, and then you have Kraus close here with the MP7, with the MP9, and well, especially with the bomb being put down as well, it's going to allow for the rotation to come in, and that setup has worked exactly as I said it would. Moshi takes long range fights, and then the MP9 is there to just take close range fights. Joshua doesn't need to get the headshot on the low HP Mr. Hoyt, but he will anyway. They did lose pistol round, but they will convert that second without the bomb going down as well for Temperate. So now EMP's Kids, they're double digits and they're sitting comfortable.
Yeah, they are really in the driver's seat now, losing the pistol but then winning the second round in the current way that the economy works in CS is like the best possible outcome realistically.
Honestly,
right?
I think it is actually.
So they find themselves in a great spot now. Temperate, they've called a pause. They're in a sticky situation in terms of money. They realistically have no choice but to invest into this one, because it would be that or essentially like a triple eco, right?
Yeah.
So they have to.
Yeah, I think tactical pause is definitely coming out for Temperate, just to be like... The one thing that they don't have a coach as well. Kids are the only team that have a coach, and they're a mix as well, which is quite funny. But it's not as useful taking a tactical pause when you don't have a coach, because you don't have someone behind you just properly talking about it. And however, though, EMP's Kids, they are looking strong, especially with Jack B just taking that duel in towards middle there. Fair play to him, very crispy, and he's going for even more. He tags down. I think he tagged MMS there, and he's just setting up his team for success. And that was a force buy from Temperate, and I think they died within 10 seconds.
Yeah,
and they got 1 kill.
Yeah. absolute stomping there from EMP's Kids. Jack's done a great job dealing damage with that scout, gets the headshot through the door early on, and then the tag onto the second man, as you pointed out. And just aggression towards the mid side of the map from EMP's Kids has worked out in terms of trade potential perfectly there. Temper have no choice at this stage to drop back down onto the Glocks. So, realistically here, this is a 12-7 situation.
Yeah, 12-7 and flawless. Crife's just got a 4K. Fair play to him. It was so hard to keep up with who was getting the kills there, like everyone was getting assists, but just quick and easy. Christ, he's padding those stats a little bit. And EMP's Kids now only 4 away from taking this map and taking this series, putting them on HLTV and putting them in the upper bracket grand final.
Aggression again from the CT side. This new style of Dust 2 is being hunted for right now. Regan's done a great job in Hoy trades. Crifes activates late though from the tunnel side and is able to mop up the remaining players. A great setup from the EMP's Kids, yields them the 2 versus 2, and now it's literally just Emmy. Has he got the bomb on his back at the bare minimum?
He has it, so he's like, it's right in front of him. But I don't know what Fluff's is doing.
Yeah.
Why is Fluff just peeked into Jack there? Like, that was a very winnable situation if he comes back and groups up with Emmy, and then he just peeks Jack. Like, you know they have a scout and AWP. He's probably going to be towards A because you've had 4 sent middle. Why have you peeked long like that? Doesn't really make sense in my opinion.
Yeah.
And Christ is going to catch a timing here. I was talking before the game, before this map with Cypher, and he was like, on nuke, I was just reading them every single step of the way. I feel this is one of those ones where they've just read that perfectly, sending 4 players towards B, getting those early interactions. They do go 3 for 3, basically, but it's in favour of them.
Yeah.
That most definitely does help them. And Temperate now, they don't get the bomb down, so they can't reinvest AKs. They're going to be sitting on these upgraded pistols, and I think EMP's Kids, they'll be looking to farm them on towards long. Christ, he's been good here against the pistols before. Now he's looking to do exactly the same. Support with his teammates. He's run out of AK bullets, but he's going to be doing it with the pistol. Jack is right behind him, but Christ, oh Christ, you are absolutely dirty with it. Actually, a lot of kills going the way of Temper. 3, that was no, that's fair enough. But Emmy, he has no armor. He has 21 HP, he has a rifle, he hasn't even got the bomb as well. I think this is 14 for EMP's Kids, especially with Mosh behind. Yeah,
without a doubt, EMP's Kids here going to be 2 away from taking this series. And I want to highlight Christ's performance since we've swapped over to the CT side. He's now up to 25 kills, Freddie.
Oh, he's
That's
owning
happened
them.
out of nowhere.
3 rounds.
It was like 11 or 12 at the switch because Cypher was the highest kills with 15. He's only had 3 so far this half. So Crife's really well played so far on this CT side for EMP's Kids, and it seems to be the difference maker here for them. They're able to be so dominant. And now Emmy, 45 seconds on the clock. At least he's got the bomb to work with, but he's isolated. Like, he's got players on both sides of him. If he goes forward, he walks into Jack B's AWP. If he goes backwards, he's in Moshi's line of sight. Now, the information, at least that he's somewhat up long, is going to be handed over from Jack to Moshi. Moshi, you can see on the radar, starting to edge forward. And now even more info as Jack's actually spotted him at the car. A perfectly played 1 versus 2 situation for the EMP's Kids. And now 2 rounds away from closing this series out 2-0.
Perfect. Emmy will have the AWP into this one. But yeah, that was a super nice round from EMP's Kids. What more do you want? And yeah, we were saying that, like, Crifes yesterday was really struggling. He wasn't having the best performances, and he's coming today and he feels like he's a new man, and that's definitely very dangerous for everyone else playing this tournament when one of the best players that you don't want to be doing well was playing badly, and like, okay, at least have a chance, and now that chance is taken away. Jack D boosted up on towards shore, and it just feels like EMP Kids are reading Temperate every single step of the way. They have just been one, it's like they're reading the novel, it's a Harry Potter novel, and EMP's Kids just had them dead to rights. Jack getting a little bit too aggressive. That's definitely a theme we have mentioned, we have seen, but Christ, yeah, fair play to him. You know what? He can have that, and he actually survives. How does he get away? Okay, right, Christ. Rory, settle down. Rory, just settle down. Like, you can't be doing that. You pick up the AWP and you go back and repeat. Emmy's already tagged down because he had interactions with Jack B, and now he's left alone. 15 is most definitely on the cards, and I think this is going to be seeing Temperate put into the lower brackets.
Yeah, I do not want to undersell Temperate by any means, but it just seems like they lost their head in this second game.
He's literally got 1.
1 HP, AWP in hand, at least he's got that going for him. Bomb on his back as well is okay, but yeah, he needs to isolate these 1v1s in the most impeccable fashion. In fact, no, I'm lying. He doesn't have the bomb on his back. He's dropped in middle. He misses the only opportunity he was realistically going to get. And that's EMP's Kids onto 15.
I don't know what to say, I can't lie.
I can't believe that.
It's just like, I thought this series was going to be close, and then on the first map it was 16-6, and it was, I think it was 16-5 actually, and it wasn't even close. This is 16-7, it seems like it was going to be a little bit closer. Temperate, they do have the rifles, they're going to try and aggress out long. Fluffs has been legged already, Molotov is doing so much damage to everyone. Christ, you're seeing the smoke, everyone's, yeah, it's round over. Christ, he gets one, but look at the HP across the board. Joshua with the second AWP is looking to put just like...
This round was finished by utility on long.
That was happened in like every single time they've gone out long. M's kids' utility has been really good, and it's actually just forced Temperate in such an uncomfortable position. Joshua, he knows where they both are. He gets two of them, and MMS now, he's got 30 HP. The Molotov is landing on site. He's trying to take a long range duel, and that will be 16-7. Emps kids, they take Nuke, they take Dust 2, they take the series. They're your first team to head into the upper bracket finals. Next match is at 5 p.m. And it's going to be the upper bracket semi-finals. No, the upper bracket finals. There is actually a fun tournament going on right now. There's golf with your friends on the Epic LAN stream at 4 p.m. Yeah, so I think the next match is going to be in quite a while. We have a bit of the break because we didn't expect this one to be so dominant. But fair play to Emps kids. They will be going on to the first game on HLTV. And I think if you have anything else to say, Icon?
I'm disappointed with Temperate. You know, I really feel like they were a team who could have won this event had they came to play. Perhaps the mentality just dipping slightly. I definitely think the advantage of the coach for the Emps kids is a massive influence as well over them. But yeah, there we have it. Emps kids continuing their dominant run. What more did we really expect from them? They've really shown up. No underperforming from any of the players on the roster. And to be honest, they don't really look like much of a mix right now. Yeah, they're playing a bit of scrappy CS here and there, but they react well in a lot of their clutch situations. And I respect the way that they are moving around one another as well.
Yeah, and I think one thing especially, me and Daffy, we were watching the god of UK CSGO. We were watching them yesterday, and we were really impressed. You know, like, okay, when it's the fun games, they're laughing and stuff, and especially when it's getting serious, we were watching them against Blank Hand, and it was like they go from being like screaming at the end of every single round, like you're Rory shouting, and then as soon as that's done, switch, you're back on it. The comms were really crisp, and as soon as, like, Emp is a coach, he's also the most professional coach we have in the UK scene. He takes that pause and he's straight away doing what needs to be necessary. He's talking and he's getting it down straight away. But I think that is all from us today. For now, see you at 5 p.m. Thank you very much, and we'll see you guys then.